This week we hand out awards like it's an indie news injection. The love and adoration of the masses allows us to start our own kingdom, but TerraTech goes crazy and destroys everything. The anxiety is real. This and more on episode 72 of Indie Game Riot. Indie Game Riot! Hey everybody, this is Josh, and we are on episode, I saw you there, Rev. We're on episode 72. It's been a couple weeks. We had Thanksgiving happen. That kind of happened, and then...
Well, that was last.
That was last week. What happened the week before? I forget.
Rev doing something and me being like late or.
Yeah, it was those two.
That was me. Yeah, I was at a Hatesgiving, and I was all set up and ready to do it. And then we waited for an extra 45, 60 minutes, and Tech still hadn't shown up.
Oh.
Okay, well, I could go get drunk
Wait,
right
really?
now. Yeah.
Yeah, you were at the place, and I was like, normally we could probably go on, but it was like.
I was literally filming in somebody's garage.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. What was the night where Josh and I were talking a lot?
That was last week.
Thanksgiving week.
Yes, Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
And in that case, I was like, well, it's Thanksgiving. Let's just do it next week, and we should all be good. So we're all good now. 72.
Yes.
There will be actually someone brought to my attention. Prep brought to my attention. One show that will definitely be missed, and that's going to be Christmas, because Christmas just happens to fall on Friday.
Yeah.
Well, 2 out of the 3 of us have families that we'd like to spend time with.
I'll do the show alone.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll join you.
Okay, cool. No, we could actually probably do that, because I don't think I'm going anywhere Christmas Day.
Well, I mean,
Christmas night.
maybe we will do a Christmas episode if you two are going to be available.
All right.
I will probably be okay.
Yeah. We'll figure it out when that.
I just
time
figured
comes.
everyone would want to be like not worried. Anyway, we'll figure it out later. This is still the show.
It is.
We always go so meta in these things.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah, Indie Game Riot episode 72. Thank you for joining us. We've got a lot of things to talk about this show.
Actually, a lot of really anticipated things for some of us.
Oh yeah, and
I'm really excited about some stuff.
First and foremost, and most important, of course, is talking about ourselves, because we're narcissists. Isn't that right?
Rev. How are you feeling?
Jesus Christ, I'm sick and it sucks.
It's like a lot this year.
I'm drinking Robitussin by the this bottle was brand new yesterday, and it's half empty now. And that's probably not good. But, yeah, so Robitussin's fun. But, we went to Utah for Thanksgiving, and it was ridiculously cold. And I got woken up at 5:30 in the morning when a deer decided it was going to commit suicide on the front of a car while we were driving on the freeway. So it was like, slam, and the car's like, and the trailer's like, and I popped out of my sleeping pills and was like, oh, are we? And the car comes to a stop, and Matt's like, yeah, we're fine. We hit and I was back asleep again. And then, apparently we left the scene of the accident and drove up to the nearest gas station. It destroyed the front of our Xterra.
Well, that's what deer do. They just don't give a fuck.
If I could, maybe I can upload a picture.
Around here, I don't know about California, but around here, deer are like vermin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was Utah. This was in Utah.
Okay, never mind.
We were almost to our destination. And we get into this this gas station, and Matt goes inside and is like, hey, what time does the shop open in the morning, or does it open in the morning, it being Thanksgiving Day? She's like, why? Well, because I hit a deer 15, 20 miles back. She's like, you realize that's a hit and run in the state of Utah if you don't call the cops immediately? He was like, are you fucking kidding me? So we had to call the highway patrol. Yeah, apparently it's like a felony hit and run.
The deer calls you into the deer calls you into the lineup. It was him, officer.
So yeah, we killed a 4-point buck and
Nice.
didn't keep it before anybody asked. I swear to God, there's so many people who are asking, "Did you throw the deer into the trailer?"
You should have.
No,
You should have.
no.
I love venison. It's delicious.
Venison is fantastic. Have you ever tried butchering a deer that's been hit?
I
And
no,
like-
I have
Oh,
not.
God, no.
That's
Oh,
why.
God.
Well, around here we just take it to the Amish.
Not only that, but you still gotta clean it out like right
Gotta
there.
clean
You don't want
it
to carry
out.
around 80 pounds
Exactly.
of goo and blood,
Exactly.
Well, I've also
And
never hit a
and
deer.
it's gonna be goo. He hit it with a car.
It's good. So yeah, that was fun, and we had to buy a new car, which was less fun. That last week when you messaged and were like, "Hey, what do you got? Are you coming?" I was like, "Oh, sorry, buying a car right now." That was
Well, at least you got a new car.
Yeah.
out of it.
True.
Did your insurance cover it at least?
Don't know yet. I haven't heard back from them.
Ah.
Calling them every fucking day since they got in on Monday, and like just leave a message. I'm like, "Hey, I need you to have this car moved
Who's
so
your
that
What?
farmers."
Really?
Yeah.
That's that son of a bitch, bald motherfucker. I forget his name.
I don't.
Right. So that
J.K.
was-
J.K. Simmons. That's
So
his
that
name.
was your week.
That was my last.
Well, I'm
2
glad
weeks.
you're not dead.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Me too.
Uh,
How you doing, Tech?
Tech.
Nobody cares about you,
Me?
Josh.
Okay.
that's true.
Tech for
So Rev, you were talking about it being very cold in Utah.
Yeah,
I
17
was
degrees.
I've got a buddy of mine who I went to high school with who joined the army, and he has been in Kuwait for the last like 4 months, and so I've been talking to him every now and then on Facebook, and I was talking to him.
Could be a worse country.
Yeah, but it's
Not by
it's still
much.
not.
Still
It's
cool.
close. It's so close. And I ran into his mom at the store that I work at, and I was talking to her, and she goes, "Oh yeah, he's coming back like December 17th or something," and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome," because I'm like, "Cool, I'll get to hang out with my friend who's in Kuwait,"
Right.
and then she goes, "Yeah, we're making sure to bring a lot of coats," and I'm like, "It's probably pretty hot in Kuwait." I checked some of later, like that week, he posts a status on Facebook that's like, "So it was feeling really chilly in Kuwait, and so I asked Siri what temperature it was. 74. 74 is cold now, and
Yeah.
he's coming back to the Mid-Atlantic area in the middle of December,
winter.
and he's not leaving until January, and I'm like, he's fucked."
Oh yeah, no,
And-
he's gonna die. He's gonna hate it.
The level of Schadenfreude I have for that is like, it's like, "Hey man, how's it going? I'm really excited you're back in the States for a few weeks. Don't freeze yourself to death." And
He
the
steps
best
off
part
the
is-
plane, just goes right back
Yeah.
in.
No, the worst part is that it's going to be really cold, and he's going to get used to it, and he's going to go back to Kuwait, and he's going to be
Sweat
dying.
his tits off. Yeah.
But I had a great experience happen today on a delivery.
Okay.
So I was delivering this pizza, and I get to the door, and I ring the doorbell, and I wait a little bit. And I don't want kids, but I don't hate kids. And so the door opens, and there's this like 3-year-old with a Santa hat standing right there. And then his mom sort
immediately
of walks
kick
up
it.
behind him. and I look at the mom, and then I look at the kid, and I'm like, "Hi, are you gonna sign this for me?" And he's just like, "Yeah!" And he pulls it out of my hand, and he puts it on the thing. And then his mom like helps him sign it. And it was just like a fun little exchange where I was able to like make this kid feel like
You know
less
you're gonna
of a
have
kid,
kids,
more
right?
of like a because when you're a kid, you're like, "I want to be an adult."
You know you're gonna
and
have
then we do
babies,
adult-
right?
What?
You know you're gonna have babies, right? It's
going
gonna come down
soon.
to it.
Eh,
What?
probably. No, probably just not now.
if everyone who's like,
Not anytime.
everyone's
soon.
like, I don't want kids, but when you like are around kids, you're like, hey, little kid, I like you. It always happened.
No.
I'm
No.
pretty. I'm not jaded.
I didn't want kids. I don't want kids. I would not have kids. I would strangle my kid.
Here's why? Because like the first like 2 weeks is really hard, and then you sort of get used to it, and then they grow up and they become awful, and then they're just awful until they leave, and that's kids.
I love it.
Like I heard a joke this week that was like you have kids and they're going to be bigger than yourself, but they're awful, so you just sort of wait to die. It's like, this is the next break I will have.
The next break is death.
If they let you.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh, they're getting.
How about you, Josh? You hate kids?
God, so much. I called the exterminator twice. One nice thing is that it's kind of nice. I mean, I miss her sometimes, but my daughter's in like pre-K now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have that break, and then it's just me and my son kind of hanging out. But yeah, I don't know. There's the pros and cons.
He's got a bruise around his neck.
Not true. Please don't send CPS.
Yeah, not true. It's fun.
No, my past couple of weeks. I mean, I had Thanksgiving. That was fun. I know not everyone has celebrated Thanksgiving, but I tend to always do family stuff for the holidays. So it was fun, and we made like ornaments, and I made myself fat. Although I did not get a single thing of leftovers. I am so disappointed.
Me too.
That's such a bitch.
Grandma,
if you're listening to this.
The crazy thing about leftovers is that we ate at my uncle's house the day after, and he had this big turkey, and my grandmother likes making like stocks and stuff, and I don't really like them. I don't think they're very good because she doesn't season enough, and so it's like, you know what our leftovers were from that? Like a cut up turkey carcass that immediately went into a pot and boiled for 6 hours.
Oh, use it for like soup. Right?
At least you had that. My leftovers were
sickness.
Megan made dressing after we got home for me.
Did you guys put up your Christmas tree yet?
No.
Oh,
yeah.
That's one thing I wanted to say. It was funny. So, a few days. Yeah, I have mine too.
That just went up today.
I put mine up. We were going to do it the day after Thanksgiving, but because we don't go out for Black Friday, fuck that.
Yeah.
No.
But it ended up happening on Saturday, so it's been up for a little while. But one thing, it was interesting, and I didn't get a chance to share this. But at what point do like radio stations say, okay, it's Christmas time? Because I was driving. No. Listen, I was
July
driving.
8th.
I was driving, and going to pick up my wife from work, and it was like 4:24, right? And I was listening, and I forget what was on. It was like, I don't know. It was just like a regular song was on. 4:24 in the evening. I'm driving, and all of a sudden, fucking Christmas music out the ass, and it has not stopped since. What?
Yeah.
Who decided the line was 4:24 on like November? What the hell was it? It was before Thanksgiving. It was like November 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Who decided that was Christmas time?
There's a station around here that does that too, and it's all they play. And usually they play like OK Music sometimes, so I go there and in the car, and it's like, okay, don't listen to NPR. There's nothing good on the radio. Let's try this. Nope, Christmas music.
There's two stations around here that I can think of that really play Christmas music. One of them plays Christmas music interspersed with regular music, and then the other one's literally Christmas music 24/7 until Christmas is done. And I don't know when done means for these people.
Yeah, January 10th.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just kind of blew me. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I didn't have turkey yet.
Here's the part that irritates me most about Christmas.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Nah. You know what? Moving right along. You know what? Fuck you. Indie News Injection.
Are you bored with the same old games?
Yeah.
Why, then give yourself an Indie News Injection.
Thanks, Indie Games.
And this week on Indie News Injection, first up, Samsung's Gear VR is now available to the public in the United States. Samsung's Gear VR uses it's like an independent headset, and you got your phone, and you put your phone in there. It only has certain phones that it works with, like mine wouldn't work with it. But it's a headset that runs on your phone. And Rev, did you try this one?
If you have a Galaxy smartphone, it works.
Yeah. I got to be honest. This thing actually kind of irritates me that it exists.
Why?
Really?
Because one, talking about accessibility, only the most elite with the Galaxy phones can play with this.
That's true.
Do you know what the phones are? Those are Galaxy S6s and Galaxy.
I like Galaxy phones, but the fact that you're making this expensive piece of equipment.
I actually really don't like Samsung phones.
an expensive piece of equipment, you mean a $99 piece of equipment?
Is it 99?
It's $99 fucking dollars.
If it's $99, how good can it be?
Is it $99?
And what can you do with your
buy
phone?
now for $99.
Your phone's power is limited, Galaxy or not.
So? But
How
this is like,
good can this be?
Rev, didn't you try it?
I demoed this last year.
Why not just have an actual VR device instead of this bullshit?
It's because it's $99.
Because it's $99.
And
So you know what else is $99? Someone made a thing where you can. I think we talked about it one episode where you can make it out of cardboard.
Yeah, that was
That's
Google's
true.
thing.
Yeah,
that was Google's thing that they were releasing for free, and you needed to use a phone. But this one, no. Why not? Why not? This is a cool thing.
I'm not saying it's cool if you have the phone and the money just to throw at it.
They're partnered with Oculus.
Oculus just get a fucking Oculus.
Yeah, okay.
Oculus is
They're not available.
They are available.
You have to get. No, they're not available to the public yet.
They have dev kits that you can buy.
Yeah, but
I can buy
the final finished
They're decent.
thing.
No, they totally are. I love them. I want one. But they're also $500 fucking dollars.
And
At
you
least
can
you're getting
gimmick,
more for it.
you can bicker about this at home, but at least it's here. So if you have a Galaxy smartphone, and why would you? That version of Android sucks. I hate it.
Fuck you for keeping
go
the
get
peace.
I got one right here.
I don't have a phone. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just bitter.
Yeah.
Next up, we actually have one of our good friends. He did that little game called Dropsy the Clown, Jay Tholen, and is partnering up with a Jolly Corpse again. For a new project called Douglas Circumstance, Monster Extermination Company. They've got their thing up on Kickstarter right now. They're not asking for a whole fuck ton. It's only about $25,000, and they're not doing too hot, unfortunately. They've got about $4,000, so it could really use a boost there. This is one of those 8-bit back types that, like it's hitting me in my nostalgia feels immediately, and then we've already seen what these guys can do together, so yep. I've already backed them.
Links in the live chat, and of course, for those of you listening to the recorded version, will be in the description as well.
And by the way, look at that awesome GIF on the screen.
It's also,
for those of you on YouTube.
I don't know if the links are clickable for like on iTunes pages or something like that. If not, you can just go to IndieGameRiot.com. It's at the bottom of the page where we keep our support these Kickstarter Indiegogo section. It's there as well, so you can click that. But yeah, good job. Keep up the good work, Jay and Jolly Corpse.
Yeah, good
definitely.
luck to you guys. I'm going to be watching this one with great anticipation. Bouncing off of that, we have some more VR news. NVidia is releasing a game dev tool set, the GameWorks VR Software Development Kit. And, excuse me 1 second. Downsides to being sick. Basically, they've released it to a couple of alpha developers, and they are, kind of making it further available through the developer hub. So yeah, it's all sorts of stuff. It's a complete SDK as well as. Sorry, 1 second. Where was it?
You're also buzzing really loud.
Am I?
Oh, nope. Yep,
it stops when we talk, but I don't
Gotcha.
know. We tried fixing it before.
So yeah, it gives you the SDK, which gives you the APIs and libraries for rendering and GPU scheduling and all of that stuff. Really, really high-tech stuff. You can apply for beta access
for asses
or for other stuff.
$40.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that or the. Wait, what are you talking about? Weren't we just? I'm sorry, I totally spaced. I was backing the last game we were talking about.
No, you're backing
right.
Douglas Circumstance.
Reasonable
I
excuse.
am. Yeah, sorry, NVIDIA VR. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what
it's okay. We're moving on to your thing.
Oh, this war of mine is coming to you in person, off of a screen, in the form of a board game. We're seeing this a lot, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this war of mine, which is a game that we really like. Josh, you loved this game, right?
Oh yeah, it's a fantastic game. I'd like to see how it works and how they're gonna do this. What I think what I think that they, because I'm sorry, I'm reading it right now just to refresh myself. What I think would be really cool is if you've played some of those cooperative board games where it's not really like a winner or loser. It's either everyone wins or everyone loses. I think it'd be really cool in this case.
Is that not what they're doing?
That's what I was reading for. I wanted to see.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of information from what we can find. There will be an app that'll go along with the game that'll allow up to 6 players to play. And I don't know if that's going to be like a Bluetooth connection, like everyone gets it on their phone and they have their own little characters and it talks to everything like on Space Team, which would be kind of cool. Or if it's going to be like an app that someone has to keep track of everything. But
times like this though, because we had this and then what was the other game that
I can't remember? It was similar
that we talked about a few episodes ago. But this makes me want to do the Indie Game Riot Tabletop spinoff so bad.
Yeah,
because these are the games. I'm really excited that these developers are branching out.
Yeah.
And finding new ways to promote their game and actually make money too. Although board games tend to be really hard to make money sometimes just because of the material involved.
Yeah, there's not a lot of there's a lot of overhead and there's not a lot of like profit margin.
Right.
And on top of that, not many people buy board games. Like
well,
you would be
expensive,
surprised.
That's why
you would be surprised at how few people have bought Settlers of Catan.
I would.
That's because Settlers
how
is
popular
like
it is.
$350.
Yeah,
Is it
I would.
really? Holy
well,
crap.
when you're talking about all the expansions and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Without that, it's like $60. But that's really expensive for a board game.
Yep.
You know, when you're talking about like when I think board game, you got like Monopoly, like what $20 at most.
Yeah.
But these kinds of games.
To be fair, Monopoly also has the benefit of being 600 million years old.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what I'm saying though,
the
like
cheapest fucking stuff possible.
Right. But you know what I'm
it's
saying.
not a modern game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the board games, I would have like a library of board games if I could just afford it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they're expensive, and maybe one day if Indie Game Riot takes off, it'll happen. Especially if we do the spin-off. You never know.
Yeah.
Which is actually one of our
really cool.
Patreon goals.
Yeah, that's true. It'll also be really cool if we could like make it into the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we'd be famous if we made it in the Smithsonian, like the
That's true.
Indie. Thank you for preempting that with the bad segue thing.
That was a good segue.
The Indie Arcade at the Smithsonian, which is happening January 16th next year, which is actually just in a month or so.
Maybe I should go there and film.
It's not far from you. You should go ahead.
No, it's pretty close.
Actually,
Yeah,
our friend
free.
Richard Kelly, Underbite Studios, doing Heroes Guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's part of the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which
Well,
is
I
how
have
I
to
found
go
out
now.
about this. So you can see your friend there. But basically how it works is it looks like MagFest, American University has a game lab that's going to be doing this. SAAM, I'm actually not sure what that stands for. They are kind of in league to present this at the Smithsonian. And it's all about the American art part of the Smithsonian Institute. And you get to play the games. You can participate in game building workshops. And
From 1 to 7 p.m.
From 1 to 7 p.m. It's all one day, but it's still really cool that they are taking indie games seriously as art. And video games in general, but they are choosing to do indie games, which is perfectly fine with us. So, and then there is also going to be some classic stuff too. It looks like Asteroids, Pac-Man, Tron, Star Wars, Arachnoid, Donkey Kong, and other stuff.
Arkanoid.
Whatever.
Fuck!
So you're old.
Say
Shut
it
up.
right. Say it right. That was a classic.
Well, I will tell you what. I will also say what right. Seg fail. The Game Awards happened last night. The Game Awards happened last night. For those of you who are not aware, they. I will say first off that the Game Awards in general were much better than previous years, but that is not saying much. There is definitely room for improvement. The host was much better. It was a lot more gamer friendly, because the previous host basically like bashed gamers, like calling them nerds, making fun of them and stuff like that. they really shoehorned some things in. They really want. I mean, it's hard to like criticize them because, for instance, one thing that was brought up was that they put women on stage, like game devs and stuff like that, which is great, but they shoehorned it in for the sake of like, look at us, we're progressive. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It was
or whatever it is.
Like, it was more of like a sales point than
progression.
Yeah. And I don't know about faux. Like, I'm sure that they agree with the whole women in the industry thing. It's just that it felt shoehorned. You know
that if they didn't do that, they'd have probably somebody else on some other podcast being like, "They didn't do that. That's bad." So
it's kind of a catch-22.
It's a damned if you do.
It's probably better for what they did, to be honest. It was just.
I'll say straight up, it was better that they did.
Yeah, it was probably better that they did. They'd get a lot more shit if they didn't. I just don't like that it might take away from the women that were up there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
So anyway,
so tell us about it though. Why is this in our news?
This is in our news because indie games were very, very, very well represented and won a lot of the categories, including over. Some of them were over AAA games, which is always impressive because you're talking about budget and teams and stuff like that. If you want to see all the awards, just go check it out. It's GameAwards.com or something like that. I'll have a link in the description. I'm sure I'm looking at a Game Informer article that has all the listings and stuff like that. But best independent game, they had Rocket League, Axiom Verge, Her Story, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Undertale. And we were actually talking about this before the show, that 3 of these 5 we actually did not cover on the show, which makes me kind of feel bad. But at the same time, Axiom Verge, when it came out, was PS4 only when it first came out, and that's the reason that we didn't do that, or else probably would have. Her Story, I actually did not know about it until last night, and I think Rev did bring it up on the Indicated recap briefly, but he didn't get a chance to play it.
Go into it, yeah.
And then Undertale, which I only found out about like 2 months, like in November, like 2 months after it came out. Because a lot of people were asking, like, why isn't it in part of the Riot of the Year award?
Because we didn't
cover it. But hey, I mean them's the breaks, I guess.
I do find it funny. Like I was just thinking about this. I was like, I think it's kind of entertaining how we keep talking about all these various games, and like with the exception of like Dropsy and other and select other ones, like we're just off by a little bit. It was like it's like, hey, there's this really cool game that we liked. It was this little no-name nothing thing called Kine or whatever, and then like nobody else has ever heard of it. And then we're like, oh yeah, and then there's this game, we might get around to it. Oh my god, everybody knows what Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that kind of effect. We're just off by a little bit in our time.
Yeah, that definitely happened with Axiom Verge. But the winner ended up being Rocket League, who
for the best indie game.
For best indie game, and they actually won another award. Was where is it? Best sports racing game. Which is impressive because you're talking about winning over EA Sports like FIFA, Forza Motorsports, NBA 2K16, and Pro Evolution Soccer. Very, very popular sports games and racing games, and they won.
Like we're gonna keep going down. I mean, yeah, that one was cool. How about best narrative?
Best narrative
was Her Story.
You're losing me. All right, I got to get back up.
It beat out The Witcher.
There was
beat out Tales from Borderland.
That was another part of the Game Awards. I agreed with like half of the awards. The other half, I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And the narrative, I unfortunately do not agree with.
I don't think
I did not play Her Story, so maybe I'm just full of shit. But the Tales from Borderlands. I mean, you're talking Tales from Borderlands, Life is Strange, which people call an indie game, but it's not. And Until Dawn. I don't know about The Witcher 3. I don't know about narrative because it's so open. But
right.
I mean, it has a narrative, a great narrative. But when I think narrative, I think very concentrated narrative. You know what I mean?
A story that takes you on a journey that you can't go and
it's focused
forget
on
about
the narrative.
Yeah.
So The Witcher 3.
Until Dawn is all narrative with QuickTime events and choice. Tales from Borderlands, again, all choice-oriented narrative. And Life is Strange, same thing. I would have probably picked Tales from the Borderlands, personally. Telltale Games, another thing that people call an indie game. I do not, but still. But anyway, her story, indie game, did win Best Narrative over those games. Best Art Direction, Ori and the Blind Forest, one that we did cover. Best Art Direction.
I
would have given it to Bloodborne.
Because I don't really like Ori and the Blind Forest very much, and we know this, but it was a very beautiful game, and I can understand why it won.
It is a beautiful game, but I would have still given it to Bloodborne.
But isn't Bloodborne just the same as the other game that those people made?
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
Yeah, isn't it basically the same?
It is.
Well, we're talking about art here, not
same.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, that's what I mean. Like, I've seen it, and I've seen the other games that they made. I don't play them, if you can't tell. And I'm
Bloodborne is a beautiful game, even though it's dark.
Yeah,
it's yeah. I don't know. It's I don't know. Anyway, Ori did win, so congratulations. I mean, more power to indie games anyway. So I'm happy about that.
Best performance was from her story.
Another
Viva
one.
Seifert.
This one wins category. This one wins category for the show. For most awkward moment of Game Awards. It almost went to Oculus because the guy went up there talking about how they partnered with Harmonix for Rock Band in virtual, and he was like talking about it's really cool to be up on stage and listen to the cheers, and he paused, waited for the audience to cheer, and no one cheered for like 5 seconds. He's like, that was really awkward. I was like, oh man, and then this happened.
You can't pre-script your cheer breaks.
Yeah. But then this happened. They were like, best performer goes to Viva Seifert from The Witcher 3. And everyone was like, wait, what?
Oh, God.
What's that? Wait, what is happening right now?
I can't do it. That's too awkward. I can't do it. Oh, God.
Everyone, I was like,
I can't. Oh, that's stuff. I can't handle that stuff.
Even
you have to like.
They put the camera and it just so happened that she was sitting next to Doug Cockle who played Geralt in The Witcher 3. It just so happened they were sitting next to each other, and they put the camera on both of them, and they looked at each other like, what, like, me? Who?
What?
Which one?
That's when they both go up, and they're like, oh, whatever.
But Viva Seifert won from her story, so another indie game victory. I would have actually that was like my fourth choice out of the 5. Doug Cockle was great, but Geralt is very one-dimensional in voice. So that was like my 5th choice. Ashley Birch was fantastic. Camilla Luddington played in Rise of the Tomb Raider was fantastic. And, of course, Mark Hamill. I mean, how did they not win?
I don't understand why Mark Hamill didn't win.
No, because the role of Joker in Arkham Knight was so much more limited. If it had been like Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, maybe I could give it to him. But
I haven't played Arkham Knight yet, so I'm not.
I haven't either.
I don't play any of them. They put me to sleep.
I would have probably have. Ashley Birch did a really good job in Life is Strange from the clips I've heard. Mm-hmm. And Camilla Luddington, not only did she do the voice acting, but she did the motion capture, which is incredibly challenging.
Yeah. So those are all the things from the Game Awards.
We're not done yet.
One more thing, really?
Most anticipated game
was
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky.
Okay, cool.
That was. I'm happy that one was. I was happy it won. I'm surprised it did win because I expected Uncharted 4 to win.
Right.
But
no one cares about Uncharted.
I am really excited about No Man's Sky. I can't wait till that comes out, and we're definitely going to cover it when it comes out. So
yeah. Hey,
really
2 of us have PS4s.
Yeah, we do. And
by the way, I added you on there. You didn't get me back.
I did.
Oh, never mind. I'm dumb and I can't check.
There was actually one last thing, real quick. Was Games for Change. It was like the biggest impact. Life is Strange won. Not an indie game in my opinion, but there were indie games. The rest of them in there were indie games. Sybil, Her Story, Sunset, and Undertale were up for nomination. So that was Game Awards. Just a quick recap of that. Lots of other interesting stories that are not indie game related, but you should probably go check out Hideo Kojima.
Now for a story that is indie game related.
Indie game indie game related. And
Rated
also has to do with
for
awards.
indie.
Also has to do with awards.
Does it?
It does.
Phil Royer won an award?
No, he did not.
Oh, well, that's what's next.
Nope. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then.
I was like,
Well, you
I'm like,
snuck
where
that
are you
in.
going?
You snuck that in, you son of a bitch. Go ahead.
Like hours
I
ago.
was like, oh, cool.
Our good buddy Phil Royer is you might recognize him from Super Pixalo, but he released his interactive novelette on Amazon back in November as the novelette aspect. Now he's released the interactive side of it on Steam. It is $4.99. Dissonance, an interactive novelette. He put a lot of work into this. Like it was a good 2 years worth of work, I believe.
Especially listening to his him talking at Indie Revolution Expo about how he didn't really understand design, and he like put a lot of effort into like making something that he can make. And then looking at this, and I'm like, wow, he's come a long way. He's done a lot of really awesome things with this game.
Yeah, I do have to admit I was unaware that it launched December 1st because he didn't like message me like he said he would. So boo on you. But I caught one of his tweets today where he's like, "Hey, it's available," and I was like, "Oh shit, I got to do this." So I kind of bought myself a copy and Josh a copy and Tech a copy, and I'm interested to hear your guys' experience with it. So I'm
I didn't even know I haven't turned on Steam in a day. So
okay, and then
my turn yet?
No. Jesus Christ,
really?
Josh!
Oh yeah,
you reorganized everything. Threw off my groove.
No, I did not. I reorganized nothing.
Off the
I didn't even get a
groove.
chance to put the damn pictures in, so now it's blank.
Oh, now it's blank. So here we go. Guess what this is? This is this month's Indie Box. Disclaimer, I buy this out of my own pocket. Wow. So, like, they're going all out.
Wow.
Like, open up the box, and it's all, oh, this is kind of cool, right?
Oh, wow.
Indie Box Challenge.
He buys it out of his own pocket. We do have an affiliate link if you'd like to support Indie Box, the devs that are in the Indie Box, and Indie Game Riot all in one fell swoop. Here's the link for those of you in the live chat. Yeah.
Oh, God. So the Indie Box Challenge, I play Battle Glacier Stage 8 as a character named Lilac by myself or stream it online. Just make sure that I'm having fun. It will register my fastest time when I'm ready to submit, and then I need to record a video and clearly display my time. And if I win... Oh, cool. All right, so Freedom Planet. We covered this game, didn't we, back when it was on Kickstarter?
We did.
Yep.
And actually, no, it wasn't on Kickstarter. I think we did I think we did the full feature when it was released.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, Tech and I know one of the voice actors, at least one.
Who?
Seymour, Patrick Seymour.
Do
you remember him? I probably talked to him more than you do.
What was his? Was he on VAC?
Seymour was his name.
Anyways.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so box art looks nice and cool. This is the highest indie box number I've ever received.
Oh.
It is 2,357 out of 4,500.
I wonder how do they determine? Do they randomize? Like,
I think it's just like random packing it into boxes and then they slap labels on.
Well, like, do they purposely like randomize like the subscriber names, like the list to start sending?
I don't know. I'll ask him. All right, so
you should fix it so you get the first one.
Yeah.
No, actually, the second one. First one goes to the devs.
The first 50 go to like the dev.
Oh, first 50.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I get a little suede pouch that says Freedom Planet Kingdom Stone, and inside it is a Kingdom Stone. That's actually kind of cool.
What is that? Pinball?
No, it's like a glass.
Is there something on it?
Like it's got something engraved on it.
Kind of. It looks more like imperfections in it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's still cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So let me stick that back in the. Let me stick the ball.
It's
back
actually filled
in
with
the
like
sack.
mercury, and it's like really deadly.
Chew it.
Yeah.
It's a gumball.
I get a suspended Mayor Zhao coin. It is worth +5.
Fantastic.
Freedom Planet thingies.
You're rich.
Oh wait, no, that's an actual. Oh, cool. Okay, it was in a case. That's an actual coin.
Is it heavy?
Yeah, actually, it's not like
some
super
weight?
heavy, but definitely not gold.
It's not plastic though, right? It's like metal.
Yeah, it's a metal coin, like a
It's probably like
slammer.
tin.
Think like a slammer from Pog.
Oh, I love Pogs. Anyway,
What else do we got? This month's Indie Box sticker in Freedom Planetized.
Slapping that on the desk. I like that one. That sticker's nice.
Yeah.
Some stickers end up kind of looking plain, but that one's pretty nice.
Another sticker of Freedom Planet.
Nice.
That sticker, like, you have to be careful where you put it because someone's going to look at that and be like, weirdo.
He likes furries.
Yeah.
The manual actually looks pretty fucking cool.
That is cool.
I like the art.
Yeah. The color of the print is really popping out. I know it seems like really boring, but that's important.
Another bag. What is... Did they seriously give me a Freedom Planet wallet?
Oh,
they
nice.
did.
You're going to use it, right?
I can't.
Oh.
But yes.
You can't.
I can't.
He loses wallets all the time.
I
Well,
have.
isn't that the
wallet.
thing?
Yeah, it is. Because if I keep money in a wallet, it gets stolen, and if I leave my card in a wallet, I'll lose it. So I am totally going to carry this everywhere in a satchel with nothing in it.
Well, then someone's going to steal it
wallet.
thinking that
Here,
there's
man,
money
here
in
you
it.
go.
It's a decoy.
Oh wow, this is a first.
A double jewel case.
A double jewel case. Freedom Planet official game soundtrack.
Ooh.
3 discs.
I hate jewel cases.
Really?
Wait, no, is it 3?
And it's broken already.
That's why.
Yeah, it's just 3.
Okay.
Just 3.
Just
only 3. Oh, cheapskates.
Right? Shoot. The art on these is actually not bad.
Oh, that's cool. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Disc 1 and
Who do they go through to get this stuff made is what I want to know.
Yeah.
Disc 2.
Every month.
And disc 3.
Nice.
They probably have like a turnaround time where they'll know the indie box like 3 or 4 months ahead of time.
I asked Tom Falp the same thing about the stuff he had in the store when it was still up and running.
Uh-huh.
He was like, China.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you have to do.
And then here's Josh's favorite part, the USB.
Ooh.
Neat.
Nice.
So yeah,
Physical
thank you
copy.
Indie Box for another awesome box. I want like in the sub hundreds one of these days. It'll happen. I have dreams.
And just to be clear, at the end of this segment, we'd like to remind all of our listeners that we do have an affiliate link for the Indie Box on our website, but Rev pays his out of pocket for himself.
Support
but if you want, yeah. So we're not like we have an affiliate link, but Rev isn't getting paid for this.
Nope.
So yeah, if you want to support Indie Game Riot, click on that link on our website, indiegameriot.com.
It's in the chat.
I've got a Freedom Planet ball sack.
You know that they sell like kangaroo scrotums that look exactly like that in Australia.
I'm glad you know that fact.
You know?
Is it my turn
I
yet?
don't remember exactly how I know that fact, but
But you do.
you're supposed
Oh
to
my
like,
God.
eat like Marmite with it or something. I don't know.
Right? Okay, fine. Josh, it's your turn.
my turn?
What the fuck?
All right, finally.
God
Put the
damn
picture
it.
up. That's right. Time. It is time to announce Riot of the Year
Finally.
2015. Last year, if you remember, yeah.
Nobody cares.
Last year, if you remember, Amplitude Studios, who made Endless Legend, won a Riot of the Year. They got their fancy shield just in the nick of time before we started Riot of the Year 2015.
Yeah.
But hopefully it will be faster this year.
Yeah.
And but it's an awesome trophy. It looks beautiful. Go check it out on our website. There's a picture somewhere. I don't really feel like finding it right now. If you want to see the picture of the shield. But anyway, this year we had voting again. We did it pretty similarly as last year. Although we actually got less of a say than last year, because last year we got like 50% and there was only 3 of us. This time we got 25% and there were 5 of us voting. And then, of course, the fan votes. So basically what happened was that there was a few games, they have a strong community around them.
Yep.
And they really showed force.
They did.
First started off, and this actually surprised me. A couple of the games surprised me. Spatials came out of nowhere. and showed a good amount
We've
of.
not announced the winner yet, by the way.
We're
talking about the
Spatials,
runners-up.
Right. These are other people that were nominated. The Spatials had a good run in the beginning, and then towards the end, Dex, if you remember that game.
Yep, I did. I was
had a
watching
really
the polls
strong
and I was
run.
like, wow.
Dex had a really strong run.
Mm-hmm. That game was fun.
The Weaponographist also had a good outing. There were some other games that showed a decent amount of votes. By the way, within 3 days of starting the voting for this, we had surpassed the amount of votes that we got the entire
For
month last year.
2014.
So that was really exciting. But now it comes down to should I announce the Riot of the Year winner or the contest winner first?
Do the Riot of the Year winner first.
Ow.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Sorry.
No, I hit my finger on the mic. So Riot of the Year 2015, drum roll.
Robitussin!
Not a sponsor.
Riot of the Year 2015 goes to Prison Architect.
Yep.
Really?
Introversion Software.
You didn't know?
No, why would I know? Josh doesn't tell me anything.
Prison. You can go in
look at the
and look at the
stats on the thing.
Yeah.
I would have to be
Prison-
coherent of that fact.
Prison Architect. And by the way, they deserve. This was one of my 5 that I was trying to decide between.
Really?
Prison Architect won by a landslide. I will say that. And there's nothing to say bad about the other games, but they have a huge community around them.
Yeah.
They do deserve this award. That's why I'm not really upset about it, because I wish it was closer just for the sake of drama.
Yeah.
But they do deserve this award, so I'm happy that they won. It was one of my top 5, and actually my choice for Riot of the Year.
Aww.
So mine on top of the thousands of votes that they got.
Yeah.
They
Kind of
won.
pushed him over.
Yeah. They won. Do you want to tell people what you voted for, or you want to keep that private?
Oh, I want to talk about it. Rev, do you want to talk about it?
Sure, I don't care.
All
All right, Rev, what was your favorite what was your vote for Riot of the Year?
I had to do it in a rank of descending order because I couldn't settle on just one, but it was
Okay.
like if there has to be one, it's going to be this one, and if that one doesn't make it for whatever reason, it's going to be this one, and if that one's not an option for whatever reason, it's this one. And I ranked those Kine, Dropsy, and Not a Hero.
You surprised me again.
Why?
Really?
How is this?
I knew
really
you
a-
liked. I knew you liked Kine, or Kin, or whatever how it's
Kine,
pronounced.
yeah.
I knew you liked it, but I didn't know you liked it that much that it won over Dropsy and what was the other one?
Not a Hero.
Not a Hero. I
See,
did not
it was-
know that.
It was one of those games where it was like everything about it was so perfectly well done.
I actually didn't enjoy it all that much.
Yeah, but you also have bad taste in games, as evidenced by the game that I'm going to be talking about tonight. I'm kidding. No, like it was so perfectly well done. They had a decent amount of puzzle aspect to it. That it was kind of a almost pseudo MOBA. You know, it was an action adventure RPG, which I really enjoy. I mean, if you look at all of my most played games, they're all action adventure RPGs. I don't have like the next most played is like Halo, and outside of that, there's nothing. You know, so it perfectly fit everything that I was looking for in a game. Dropsy was a very, very close second for me because, come on, it's Dropsy, and I wanted a warm, damp hug. and Not a Hero, I wanted just because I felt that it did such a good job at being off the wall that.
While also forcing you to jump off walls, like come on.
Exactly.
Speaking,
and that's part of the humor of the game. It's awesome.
Speaking of Not a Hero, that was actually our staff writer's pick, Matt Dawson.
Oh.
He picked Not a Hero.
Oh,
there's
cool.
That. Tech,
So
what's
like
yours?
it was all really
right.
close, but yeah.
All right, yeah. So, I feel really bad because the game that I inevitably chose came out really early in our judging period.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of games that came out, but none of them really wowed me like this one. And my vote was for In Verbis Virtus.
I actually thought you were going to go with
Chroma Squad?
Chroma Squad, yeah.
You know, after replaying
That was one of my
Chroma
5,
Squad,
Chroma Squad.
After Chroma Squad was in second place for me. And like in my head, I was like, if it's between another one game and Chroma Squad towards the end, I will move Chroma Squad to the first one just to give it a little push, because I have a lot of respect for that game, and I think that if it was going to win, it deserved to win. But Inverbis Virtus was
if
the
Chroma
game
Squad,
this year.
If Chroma Squad were to win, that would also. It was one of my 5. Along with Dropsy and I forget what the other 2 were. I had to look at the list, but
the thing with I guess the way I made the choice was that Chroma Squad was something that wasn't as like revolutionary in my opinion, but they did it in a way that made something that I didn't like fun, and that major props.
I can see that.
But the wow factor and the immersion and the level design and the art and the mechanics of Inverbis Virtus were too much for me not to say, here's my vote. This game is amazing.
And the last of the staff votes was Prep, who came down. He was trying really hard to decide between Techno Babylon and Lumini, and he actually went with Lumini.
Wow,
which
really?
Also, I was surprised by that too. Lumini is a great game, though.
It is.
So
I like how we're all a lot more.
I like how we're all kind of surprised by everybody's choices.
I'm not surprised by Tex because he's been announcing like,
I know. Hey,
Chroma
and that's
Squad
why I feel bad because it like I want more games to make me be like, I've never done this before. This is amazing. And
this was
new,
a great year for games, man.
It was
fantastic
really
year.
Was.
Oh man, I'm so happy about this.
And really, all the games that we talked about could have deserved to win or won. Like they seriously.
Well, you know what else is a great year for?
Weren't you going to announce something else?
What,
Josh?
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Contest winner. Before I move on to a bad segue.
Oh, yeah.
He gets his point, and then he just quickly runs away, and he's just like, "I'm done."
So there was also a contest going on for people. There was like one of those Gleam things where you could like follow on Twitter and all that stuff, get entries, and then also for people who commented on the page. And how I basically did it was I did the random.org thing, assigned numbers to everyone, and got the person. The winner was a guy who from Singapore apparently, but who goes by the screen name Cool, but there's like Leet in it, so it's K3W3L. So congratulations, man or woman. I'm not actually sure because who knows. So you win. They won 10 indie games, 3 of which were actually on the, let me get back to the thing, Riot of the Year nomination list. So they won Devil's Bluff, Serious to the End, Adventures in Equica, Not Without My Donuts, Serious Online, The Architect, Trouble in the Manor, and then the 3 that were in the Riot of the Year nominee list was Icy, Dex, and Kine.
Sweet.
So
they've got a lot of good games.
That's a lot of good games in that, though.
So congratulations, you won the big prize pack, sir and or madam. Are you happy now? I did the thing.
You can't discriminate. You got to put the and in there now.
Yeah. So now, something about a segue. Starting the riot. This week on Starting the Riot, we have a game called Kingdom. And as I get the gameplay running.
Oh my god, it is so fucking difficult.
It is a very hard game. Kingdom is by 2 different studios according to Steam. Noyo. Oh, god damn it with the damn commercials. Sorry.
That's weird.
Fucking commercials.
Ad block is a thing.
Not getting into that with you. And Licorice.
Right.
And Licorice. So
yeah, they are both based out of Netherlands and Iceland.
There you go.
Respectively.
So basically, Kingdom is a very difficult, somewhat of a roguelike, very simplistic game. You start off as a king or a queen. It's all randomly generated how the king or queen looks and the colors and all sort of stuff. And you start off and you have to build a kingdom. You start off with just like a camp. You have to collect coins. You get coins every morning for every day that you survive. You also get coins from your peasants or whatever they are,
like hunting and stuff and cutting down trees.
Yeah, for hunting. You also get it for farming and things like that. And then you have to pay those coins back into your kingdom to build up the walls, to build up the actual kingdom part of the kingdom, to hire people to do the hunting, to hire people to do the farming and
the defending.
And the defending and all that sort of stuff. The hunting and the defending is actually the same people. And it's extremely difficult because there's no hand-holding whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just like
builders, and you need to assign people
it's just
jobs.
Like, give this a coin to do it. And you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tech, you were saying it's like surprising that anyone would survive past day 8 on
something like that.
I survived to day 10.
Okay.
On my first playthrough.
Wow.
And I thought I was actually kind of impressed with myself. I was like, I didn't do too bad for first playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like strategies that you end up having to figure out. The best strategy I've seen to witness is to amass a very large army of the archers, and just that's like your main source of income because they hunt, and then they will defend your walls a lot better than less archers. So that's the best. That's the best strategy I've seen so far. I haven't actually watched too many videos of it of other people who are actually good at the game playing it. But it's really cool because you can build up towers. You can see it there. You
and the other
hire mechanics, and it's just really. It's a really simplistic game on the outside, but extremely deep.
And not only that, but a lot of the depth is in very simple mechanics. Like, so you start off on sort of like one edge of a map, and you go into sort of the middle, and there's your camp. You can go either more forward or back where you came from, and there's going to be stuff. And the further you go, the more stuff you find, because as you find stuff, it's not going to show back up there. You have to go farther. But there's time in the game, and every night monsters come and attack, and during the day you can go out and explore.
And every 5th night is a blood moon, and that's when you get really screwed if you don't have the defenses and the army to deal with it.
Exactly. And like, let's say you'll have hunted everything close to you, and then the night comes, and your wall breaks down, and then all of a sudden you go back out, and you're like, wow, I have to go really far, and then you're running back as the sun is setting, being like, I need to give more money to this wall, and just like crossing your fingers. And
So enemies come every night, and on every 5th night is a blood moon, and then as the game progresses through days, it also gets more difficult. Different enemies come.
Yep.
However, the one night that you don't get attacked is the night following a blood moon. That gives you kind of a bit of a reprieve to set back up, because a lot of times they'll knock down a wall, and they'll start taking out some of your soldiers, and then you got to go and hire more people and all this sort of stuff, spend your money. So it's challenging, but it's fair. Like I haven't played this and been like, I'm too frustrated, I'm done. I was willing to continue playing to see how much more farther I could get. Now, some information on Kingdom. It is currently $9.99, or you can get it with the soundtrack for $12.99. The soundtrack by itself is $3.99. So, really cool soundtrack. But I've heard better, but it's a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
And
the sound design is actually really good.
It's actually published by Raw Fury.
Okay.
And
it's $9.99 on Steam.
It is Windows, Mac, and Linux. And they won a few awards as well. It was.
What would you say is the biggest draw for this game? Because like I'm watching the gameplay footage, and it like Tech said, it seems so ridiculously simple.
Nope.
It's really just the challenge. That's the
challenge. The challenge is the main draw, but like we were saying, it looks really simple, but when you're playing it, you start to realize the amount of depth that's in it.
Okay.
Because there's so much strategy involved. There's resource management, dealing with timing in general.
Yeah.
Also, one of the things that the game actually does tell you, I think on a website or something like that, is like, don't be afraid, because you were saying like you could go really far out, but then you have to get back before nightfall, or else you're going to die. Because what happens is when you get hit, you lose coins if you have coins, and they steal your coins and run away. Or if you don't have coins, your crown falls off and it bounces around. And if you don't pick it up, and one of the monsters picks it up, then the game is over.
Okay.
So they'll go for the coins first. And a lot of times, one strategy I've seen is that if they get caught like out in the dark and they're chasing them, they'll just start dropping coins to get them off their ass. You know, like, take my money, go. Like they're getting mugged. So that's one challenge is like how much should you expand, if you should expand. If you also the other thing is, if you expand, you risk losing resources. So you have to like balance that out. There's a lot underneath the simplicity of this.
And the other thing too, like I think the biggest drawback for me is that there's so much stuff you can do in the game, but getting to it is like a little bit, it's behind a very high skill ceiling.
Okay.
Because like,
well, you make it sound like it's like some people just can't play it. I think that people starting out will do better than others, but if you're willing to continue to play, you will get better.
It's like, don't even worry about a farm on your first playthrough, because you're gonna outstretch yourself and it's gonna be hell, and you're gonna die.
Archers are where it's at for much of the beginning of the game. But there's cool things too. If you do adventure out, you'll find that's how you find people to hire, because as you see in the video right now, there's camps with people that you can hire. And then there's also sometimes you can find chests. You'll find little monument statues, things that give you enchantments back in your kingdom, like it'll enchant your walls or it'll enchant your archers to do better. There's also hell gates, which is where the monsters come out of, as you're seeing right now. He's actually sending knights, which is a little bit more of a advanced game tactic that you will get as you play through. The knights are sent to destroy the gate, but then the monsters go crazy, as you see. So it's a little scary when you do that.
Well, you guys have convinced me enough that I just spent the money and bought it.
It's cool.
There you go. It's really good. It is, again, it's won a few awards. It's winner of the Nordic Game Development Support 2014, Best of Show in the Indie Arena Booth 2015, Destructoid's 8 Great Games from Gamescom 2015, and it was an Indie Mega Booth selection this year. So there you go. Any other questions about Kingdom?
Other than that, like, I'm watching this and like having like crazy amounts of anxiety. It's like, oh God, is it gonna get it?
I turned off. So now you won't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
All right. No. Well, you know what you won't have anxiety about, because it's very creative.
Titties!
Anxiety would have been a much better transition into the last free fun segment. But anyway, Peep Show.
Please give all your attention to Early Access.
And this week on Peep Show, we have a game that, I'm just going to describe it after I tell you the name of it. It's TerraTech. TerraTech is a vehicle building sandbox game, kind of. You start out the game and there's like a story, and you're part of this military fleet, and the big ship was dropped down, was blown up, and you've landed on the planet. You got a little car, and it's got like 4 little wheels, and it's got a drill, or I don't know if you even start with the drill, and it's got a little laser, pew pew, and you have your cockpit, and you can sort of like control it and shoot and stuff with space, and then you see this other little like droid, vehicle thing over there, and it starts shooting at you, and you shoot it, and then when you kill its cockpit, you can go over and you can like pick up with your mouse like the pieces, and then attach it to points on your vehicle, and you can pull your vehicle apart completely and rebuild it with whatever these parts you found off of things that you've killed, and that just progressively happens, and there are more parts that you can find and bigger things to fight.
You know what this reminds me of in a much more advanced way? Besiege.
Yeah.
Just in a way that it looks, in a way that you just put everything together.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a lot more to it, because you're using parts from other vehicles that you destroy.
In real time, by the way.
And it's a bigger thing, instead of a...
And if you destroy a part, it's gone. But if you pick up a part, and you can find shops, and if you've picked up a part, you can buy that part from a shop. And you can also save your creations and your vehicles into the game, and then if you want to rebuy those, they'll have a credit cost, and you can just order it, and it'll plop down next to you. So if you build this really awesome ship and you save it, even if it gets blown up, if you have the credits for it, you can get it back. And the way you get credits or big bucks or whatever it's called in the game.
Big bucks.
Yeah, it's a BB in there.
I hope it's not called big bucks.
You don't only, I don't know. Yeah, you know what I mean. You don't only have to build a wheeled car with armor that can shoot a lot of guns. You can also build a big mining vehicle, and they're like these tractor pads and these like remote pickup things. So you'll drive these, there are a bunch of different ores and stuff throughout the world that have different costs when you sell them. You can go and you can have your drills, and you drill out these rocks, and then your conveyors pick them up and they hold them on your vessel for you, and you drive back, and then you've got your refiners and your unrefiners, and so then you can just rocket stuff to sell, and pretty much you start off with nothing, and then you can make like factories and stuff, and they're like much sorry.
Well, I was going to say, looking at this video, how does this thing control?
All right, so it's WASD.
It looks kind of unwieldy.
That actually depends,
or maybe it depends
on how
you build it. Right? Yeah.
So like the wide fat vehicles aren't gonna like be as nimble, and also the different types of wheels and the different blocks that you use have different speeds and weights. So this is like the GSO. I think it's GSO. The GSO like starting blocks that you have, and a lot of vehicles are built with them. Mm-hmm. And then you have the other two factions that are currently in the game that have different colored blocks, and the next faction that you like find pretty early on all of their blocks are lighter. And their wheels are faster.
To this?
No. They're like small, like little like quests to get you started, but they don't really have a campaign. It's really mostly just go out and do what you can. That's kind of my biggest complaint is you play the game, and then you build some cool things, and you find a lot of the stuff that you can't find. So you can build all these really cool mechs by buying these parts, and then you build one that flies, and you build a mining thing, and you have all this set up, and then you're done.
So you think it could? It would use some direction for some continuation of the game, like maybe like a goal orient.
I think that if they maybe were like, you drive around in a certain area, and then there's like a thing that's sort of story driven. It's like, oh, you've picked up a beacon signal here. You might want to go to it, and you go to it, and there's like a exploded craft there.
Do they have a mode?
Like a part or two.
Do they have like an arena mode where you can just like where it doesn't take your funds up, but you can just go in and like fight people? They
have a sandbox mode where you can build whatever you want, but I don't think they have, like, unless they've changed it in the last week or two. They don't have an arena mode where you can take in your mechs and just start fighting waves.
I think the arena mode would be really cool, and especially like if there's a problem with people coming back to play.
They do have what's called invasions, and invasions happen in biomes. By the way, they're different biomes. In biomes that aren't like the one you started out in. And an invasion, a big red marker on the ground shows up, and it's like, all right, this mech is invading. Prepare to fight or run away. And then this.
So it's kind of like a world-based PvP.
Yeah, kind of.
Like events.
Yeah, exactly. And that's based on how many parts your vehicle has as to which like big thing it spawns to try and kill you. They're not really hard battles from what I've seen. At least, they might get harder later on. But with a bit of strategy, you can really kill them, and it's a great way to get new parts. But like that's sort of all they have in terms of like depth. Like they're the different. That's the thing. There's so much in this game already, but there isn't like a lot else.
I think that
I know, obviously, but
I think obviously constant updates would keep
they are pretty consistent on the updates.
But I think an arena mode would really benefit, because then people will, even if there's not additional content for the moment to have people come back and play. Arena mode in general, just have people like, let's have a Royal Rumble or a Battle Royale or something like that. It's like freaking, remember BattleBots? It's like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it would really benefit from that. And then as far as like a single player type of thing goes, I think it would be interesting if they added additional quest line type of things to it.
And I'm going to be honest, they need to add that, but there's one thing that they need to add before all of that, and that is major optimization changes.
Well, I think that's an issue with a lot of early access.
This game does not run very well. I mean, like, okay, it'll run, and it'll run at a fine, like an okay frame rate. But the camera is kind of floaty, and it doesn't feel like, oh, the camera is floaty because we want it to be floaty. It feels like the camera is floaty because the game doesn't want you to move this. You're doing too much for the game. And, if there are crazy amounts of detail that you can go. You can bump this thing up like super high, and it'll look really crisp and not run very well. Or you could dumb it down really low, and it still runs. It runs okay. But at night, the lighting engine really slows the game down. And if you have a vehicle that's really big and has a lot of parts, it's rendering all those parts because every single one of those parts is physics based.
Right.
And can be exploded and can fall off. Like, you can make parts of your vehicle fall off just by running over the wrong thing or turning the wrong way sometimes.
Okay.
And it's it needs to be optimized. It needs to run better.
I think the optimization
before they add stuff.
Optimization is an issue with early access games in general. So I that's going to get fixed, I'm sure.
It has to.
Now,
well, it does. I want to comment. You mentioned, something that could help this out a whole lot would be, frequent updates. I've been scanning back over, several pages of their 68 updates.
Yep.
And you have to really, really look for one in which they don't have at least an update a week, if not several updates.
They literally release an update on the 3rd, and then the next day they released. Okay, so they run updates in two different ways, though. They run updates in the stable branch and the unstable branch. The unstable branch is stuff that they're working on in the game. You can play with it now, but it might break your game. And the stable branch is stuff that they've ironed out from the unstable branch going to the early access, like everybody.
Right. But even that, it's still at least one a week.
Yep.
Between
it's
the two
very
branches.
frequent.
some basic information. It is by Payload Studios, the developer, and it is currently $19.99 on Steam. However, there's a deluxe edition, the R&D pack, so I'm not sure what actually comes in that.
Research and development pack.
But I don't know what actually you get with that.
I think you get the unstable branch.
It should be a lot. Here, break your game for $10 more.
The TerraTech R&D pack.
Go ahead.
Bonus test bed. Oh, to get access to all the experimental blocks, unique blocks that they were planning on adding, and the main game.
I don't know if that's really. I think they should just have that. But anyway, it's $28.99 if you feel like paying for that.
Yeah. And that's another thing that is sort of like a complaint about this game. This game definitely worth $15. They're gonna have to do a little bit more work before I can see myself being like, this is a fully released game and it's worth $20. You know, like if this game were released now, it'd be overpriced. Even though you can still play it and have a lot of fun.
It did win some awards. The TIGA Best Action Adventure Game 2015, TIGA Best New IP 2014, and Game of the Show at Radius Festival 2014, which is from Kotaku, because people give a shit about Kotaku.
Yeah.
So congratulations, TerraTech, on those. Yeah, I think there's work to do, but I think that the game has a ton of potential and looks fun as hell.
It does.
There is a lot of content to keep you busy. Yeah. If you aren't getting bored with building things, you're going to have a lot of fun. If
you enjoy these types of games, or if you have money to throw at it to help its development, definitely go buy it. Otherwise, it might be worth just waiting, but I'm sure if you, either way, it will eventually become a game that is fantastic. In all ways, not just in some ways. So, you know what else is fantastic?
Oh, the reaction of Rev on our next game. From our next game.
That was pretty fantastic. But just in general, free games are fantastic.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's time for free fun.
Finally tonight we have Anxiety Last Night. It's our free fun game. It's scary as fuck.
Don't fly through this. You love this game.
Okay, so true story. It's scary as fuck. That's really all I gotta say on it.
Wait, is the part that scared you and made you scream like a little bitch in this video? Like, can you recognize it from where we're at?
Are you starting the car?
Yeah.
Can you hear what's going on?
No, you can't hear.
Okay, well then you don't know what the fuck I was screaming at.
Oh, it was a noise.
It was noise plus. It was noise plus. So this game does not hold your hand. It is kind of obtuse, in fact. It took me a while to start getting the hang of it, but once I did, it was kind of, okay, I'm making progress. I kind of fucked up playing around with stuff early on and drained most of my battery, and I got to a point where I was like, oh, I need to start following the instructions given by the so-and-so, and as I'm doing something in the car that, I'm trying to cool, there's glowy red eyes outside the window that kind of moved by, and it was like, oh, shit, that was kind of fucking creepy. Okay, ignoring, moving on, trying to get things going, and then all of a sudden I hear glass breaking behind me, and I screamed like a bitch, and because I was wearing my headphones, and good headphones.
So the audio in this game's pretty fantastic then.
Oh my god, is it good. And creepy as fuck.
One of the
Fuck has sound.
One of the most important things in a horror game, so that's good. It lends to the atmosphere.
Oh my god, Maxie and the gang put this together. It's on Itch.io, or no, it's on GameJolt. My apologies. Yeah. And it is. No, it was made for Ludum Dare 33. And
what was the theme?
I don't fucking remember. What was Ludum Dare?
Was that the one that was like, oh yeah, a horror game, but it can't be survival horror or whatever?
Well, this is more. This reminded me more of like an escape
You are
the
the
room.
Monster. You are the monster is this one, and yeah, it was kind of an escape the room, but there's a bit more of a story to it. I did some reading on it because I'm a responsible journalist type, even though I was never going to play this again, and There is a little bit more depth to the story than just you're in a car that's broken down in the middle of a national forest, and it's freaky as fuck.
Why do national forests tend to hold the creatures of nightmares?
It's because
what is the government hiding?
It's the one place that people can't be.
Well, it's the one place that, regardless of how many people there are, like it's wilderness. Like I was reading this book the other day while I was at my in-laws for Thanksgiving.
Did anyone see that shadow pass by, or was that just me?
Oh no, it's not just you. Trust me.
Like they're looking at stuff in their purse, and you can just barely see the window up above.
Yeah,
and I swear I saw something.
Just wait, just like
that's creeping me out, and I can't even hear it.
Yeah.
One of the next steps, you're like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and then you, like, get a glance out the window.
Oh.
Yeah, no, this
I
is...
just saw it.
Oh! That's what made me scream! That
Well, back to our faces, thanks.
that was the one! That was it!
Now, I was watching that on stream, so it was a little delayed, but...
Right. Yeah, I was watching it on stream, too. That's what made me scream like a girl, and I'm done with this. Thank you.
That's really funny. Like, put it outside, you're like, oh, that's creepy, and then it just right there, and you're like, ah!
That was the reaction to it. It was like, oh, and I think that was my commentary, was like, oh, that's kind of fucking creepy. I hope I can get out of this. So yeah, go play Anxiety Last Night. Have yourself a heart attack. It's a scary as fuck game.
Link for those of you in the chat right there. You know what else is scary as fuck?
My heart is beat. Like I'm gonna take so much cough syrup tonight.
Nightmares.
Like I'm just gonna.
You know what else is scary as fuck? The end of the show is scary. because no one ever wants it to end, but it needs to come to an end.
I didn't see it coming.
All good things must come to an end. We're mature. For those you who need a reminder, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/Indie Game Riot. If you want to help us, you like what we do, please consider going there and donating a little bit of money to help us continue making Indie Game Riot better. One of the goals, we have many goals, but we just came up with a new goal that we might possibly add, is to have Rev play scary games. So, if you want to see that happen, please go to patreon.com and consider supporting us. Thank you so much for the consideration. If you have any games or any indie game news or know anything that regards indie games and you think that we should have it on the show or even on our website, please contact us. There's tons of ways to do it. First of all, we stream live on hitbox.tv/JaShinYa every Friday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can always talk to us in the chat. We talk in between segments. For those of you who are listening to the recorded version, you can also go on twitter.com. We are at IGR Podcast, or facebook.com/IGR Podcast. And of course, you can email us, contact@indiegameriot.com. The website holds all this information and more. indiegameriot.com. Any last words, gentlemen?
Did you talk about the Reddit?
Well, the Reddit, we can actually do that. There's a Reddit if you want to check it out.
Okay.
All right, we'll see how it goes. We'll talk about it. Any last words, gentlemen?
I don't know. I'm excited to see what's next week.
Well,
we're sort of like, we were building up to the holiday season, and now it's gonna slowly go down. And
this is it, when we go up to the holiday season, there's this huge incoming of games. There's just I can't handle all of it, but then there's this inevitable decline of games to feature. March until June. Yeah, so maybe we'll do some games that we missed that like Undertale or Her Story or something like that. Maybe we'll do some of those
in the dead season.
Can't find during the slow time. But say your goodbyes, Jim.
See you next time, guys.
Have a good one, folks.
Toodles.